David, could you say something about the direct uptake of water proposed for the pulp mill, in terms of what the amounts and where it's going to come from and the implications of that?
Yes, there are two issues with the pulp mill and its water. The one that they've tried to keep the conversation on is the water actually in the mill, and they could have even ducked that by closed looping that. But the interesting thing about the water for the mill is the scheme about where it's going to come from, which is out of Trevelyan. Now, I find a great irony in this, because here is the absolute proof of a government without brains. Because most recently their best idea was to divert water from Powhatina south into the Midlands, which is one of the greatest cracked ideas anybody ever came up with, because you're actually going to have a salt problem instantly. But that water that they will divert south into the Midlands is currently going north to Trevelyan via the irrigators. Now, clearly they're going to be upset, because where's their water coming from? At the moment it's coming out of that tail race. So there's a lack of thought there. The other thing, which is the irony of this, is the South Esk itself, with its catchment out over the back there, hacked to pieces. What you need to know about the South Esk is it has two main water suppliers. One is the portion of its catchment above Fingal, essentially above Blythynna. Nearly 70% long term of the catchment's water comes out of that zone. Now I ask you to just take a drive up there and imagine what it's like today, and picture that's being hacked to death, frankly. The bulk of the other 30% of the water in the South Esk comes out of the meander, and most of that comes out of the Tears end of the meander. So picture what's happened to that. They've got a dam on it. A lot of the water's not going to leave meander. A lot of it's going to evaporate at meander. This is a total schmozzle. It is not going to make it down the river. I can see that Guns and the picture will come one day where Guns is going to have to try and buy some of that water to keep their mill running. But the point is, all the other arms of the South Esk system are not water providers. So if you increase agricultural production, as is being attempted, requiring water, at the same time you allow expansion of forest operations like these in the water generators, which demand extra water, at the same time you encourage evaporation, and worse, then divert water that would top you up from a power scheme which is already stealing water from the Ouse River, from a lake that's almost empty. From a power station they really desperately need to run, because it's only one of two that can actually generate any significant electricity. You see all the binds. They have not thought any of this through. It's classically foot in brain. You know? They haven't even got it in their mouth. It is just hopeless. And what you have to appreciate is how much water is actually being chewed up by the plantation on top of these catchments. And at peak growing time it approaches about 4 megalitres a hectare in that rainfall with these trees. And the long-term number is between 2 and 3. That's averaged out over the life of the tree, which is only perhaps 15 years these days. So it's a desperate situation, not thought about, and we're going to be left with the result.